Hello, my friends. Welcome to my stream. So happy to be here again. And yeah, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. And if this is your first time here, my name is Rosario Liaga. I'm a spiritual mentor, healer, channeler, and coach. And I do all things spirituality, metaphysics, channeling my spirit guides, and holding a safe space for all of you here who are intuitives, light workers, and hacks. And I know that you are here with a big mission, a big purpose, which is simply being yourself and sharing your light with the world. So my wish is to help you amplify that light and help you remove those insecurities, alchemize those fears that hold you back, so you can step into your purpose as a way shower, a leader, a conscious creator. And if this resonates, feel free to follow me and stay tuned, because I am preparing lots of content and sharing lots of things on my Patreon community, which has my complete transformational program, the Ocean Experience. And I teach you everything about somatic healing, nervous system recalibration first, and also your soul design, channel from your Akashic records, those aspects of who you are that make you the person, the unique person you are, and how you can tap into those aspects, amplify their magnetism to live the life you want, and also conscious manifestation for healers and all souls, because I feel that's a very hot topic in the manifestation community, in the spiritual community. How do we make manifestation more tangible and real and connected to social issues and truly transforming the world for everyone, not just for selfish gain and superficial stuff? So if that resonates, I am here for you. And today I want to chat about different topics and shadow work and soul design, and depending on the viewers who come here, I'm also offering psychic readings, and you can get one, and all the information is in the description how to order yours today. And yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I'm going to sit down here. Okay, there we are. I need a better lighting. Wait a moment. Okay, I was having trouble here with the mic and the camera, but it's here we are. Okay, my cat here is going to help me hold the mic. So cute. So today I wanted to share with you about shadow work and why it is so important. And I don't know if you're familiar with that concept, and I feel each teacher or psychic or healer has its own way of approaching shadow work. And in my case, well, to me, is facing our fears, the core fears we develop as human beings and souls to protect ourselves from the experience of pain, the experience of abandonment and separation. Because if you think about it, everything, everything we hide or we feel ashamed or insecure about ourselves are could be like, you know, this feelings of insecurity and unworthiness or shame about being less than others, feeling jealous of others, feeling like we're missing out if we don't if we are not a certain way, if we don't portray ourselves as a certain way to fit in society. So shadow work would be you really facing those insecurities and deep-seated fears and things that you really don't say out loud, so you can integrate those aspects with compassion and say, okay, yes, I am vulnerable, I am afraid, and it's okay. I can integrate those parts of me. Hello, Sarah. Good afternoon. Oh, I love your picture. The tulips farm. That's so beautiful. I love your pictures there. Yes. Good afternoon to you too. How are you doing today, my friend? Today we're discussing shadow work and soul design and other things. Yes. And yeah, I feel like it is a very important topic, shadow work, especially in today's world where we see so many conflicts, social issues that are big manifestations of what is inside of us individually, things that we haven't worked on yet, things that we have pushed aside or tried to bury under the surface for far too long. So yeah. Hello, Maite. Welcome. Welcome again. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for tuning in. Yes, this is my cat. I think you already met my little cat some time ago. Now he's helping me hold the mic. Yeah, so today we're talking about more shadow work and really creating a beautiful lifestyle as a light worker, healer, a person who is neurodivergent, ADHD, autistic. So yeah, it is exciting. I feel like there is huge potential for us in the world. Contrary to popular beliefs that we're kind of like ostracized or we're outcasts. And yes, with the flowers. Yes, the tail. So, yes, let's have a great time today, my friends. And let's talk about everything shadow work and manifestation and healing and yeah, I feel this is a great time for me to stream because I've already done some stuff here at home, like chores and everything. I work out each day. It's kind of like for my mental health too, and because I really love it. It's like really good for me to exercise every day, and I have a very diverse exercise routine. So I mix it up with yoga and strength training, dancing. What else? Pilates. So it is really fun. And it keeps me very kind of like grounded too, because so much of the work I do is very spiritual, and I am in meditation or channeling and holding space with emotions and everything. So working out and doing things outside, it is good for me to balance it out. And I feel it's something that many intuitives also, in some cases, neglect the physical aspect, because we tend to be more in touch with the intellect or the emotions, which is completely valid. But yeah, you need to include your body too. You need to take care of your body, and that means, yeah, taking your mental health walks and touching grass. But yeah, it can be really fun. So yeah, but shadow work lately, I've been doing like lots of that healing work with myself, and kind of like dismantling some negative beliefs and limitations, and guiding some people in that process too. So a few of my clients this month had those themes of the fear of visibility and imposter syndrome, which I feel they are more common than we really know. So if any of you has ever felt that you struggle with this fear of visibility and imposter syndrome, or feeling like you're not enough, really you're not alone in this. And it's pretty common among very intuitive people, very highly sensitive people, because the fact that you are very in touch with your emotions and thoughts makes you very self-aware. And when you're self-aware, you're constantly questioning yourself, analyzing yourself, and sometimes that analysis becomes rumination, and it's like you're absorbing so many messages from your environment, and constantly absorbing those physical cues from other people, analyzing their speech, their behavior, and comparing yourself to them. And when you see people who are maybe performing better than you know, or achieving more than you, then you feel like, oh, so insecure, and like you're not doing enough to be like them. But we know that's not true, and especially for ADHD people, autistics, ADHD, we need to dismantle those beliefs we have, that we need to do more, or we need to perform more, or mask more in order to be accepted by society. Very often I was, meditating and reflecting on the fact that, for example, Michael Jackson, I don't know if he's like, if this is a public diagnosis, but I feel many people suspect he was in the spectrum, in the autistic spectrum. And many, for example, Beyonce too, many people who are top artists and performers, they happen to be neurodivergent. And that makes you think how they had this support circles, support networks that help them with the more, I don't know, physical stuff, the organization stuff, so they could really bloom and shine and do their task, like perform their task of channeling artistry, channeling messages, channeling amazing things simply by being themselves. So that is so amazing. Imagine how many neurodivergent people could thrive if they had those support networks in place. And you don't have to be super, super talented or a huge scientific mind, like, Nobel Prize, to be worthy of that support, right? Because we can see Beyonce or Michael Jackson, or who else? I am like, there are many neurodivergent people who have become famous because they were so hyper focused on their craft, and they really honed in their craft and perfected their artistry or whatever they had to share. So yeah, it's like when neurodiverse people get the support they need, they help the world in amazing ways. And I feel I don't know, that fills me with joy and hope. And I really hope that more people can receive that kind of support, so they can share their gifts and live their best lives. What do you think about it? So that's why we need neurodivergent people in all spheres of life, because we really think outside of the box, and this this is not like a broken mind or broken nervous system we have. It's just also an evolutionary upgrade in some ways. It's an evolutionary adaptation, and that's something I've discussed with some colleagues who are psychologists and neuroscientists, that yeah, in some ways you can see neurodiversity as another evolutionary path that humanity is taking because of the environmental factors, the social factors, so many things. Yes, I wish the world was more accepting of differences instead of expecting everyone to fit the same mold. Yes. Yeah, it is impossible to try and fit the same mold. Like no one can really do that. And those who try to do it, they somehow will fail. And I feel like many people are kind of like the illusion is breaking. Like many people are discovering that they've been masking and they've been betraying themselves just because they wanted to be appreciated in some kind of like a high achievement work, or the corporate ladder. And yeah, it's kind of like a dark night of the soul for many neurodivergent people too, and highly sensitives. And that's when shadow work comes into play again. It means that you need to face those things you believed were true about you and the world, and grieving the fact that you had to sacrifice maybe your sensitivity or even your morals, even your ethics, in order to fit into certain systems or society. And yeah, and I feel like as neurodivergent people and all souls and empaths, we can be very in touch with what's fair, what's right for all, and justice sensitivity is a very common theme among us. So whenever we feel these misalignments, this lack of integrity in the world, injustice, it's like we get so passionate about it, and people are like, "You're being too much. Like, relax, calm down." And you're like, "But how can I calm down when there are so many horrible things happening to people, like kids, children, mothers, fathers?" Yeah, you can't just. It's like cognitive dissonance. It's very, very damaging. But yes, that's one layer of this puzzle. And yesterday we talked about the sun frequencies and how the sun also has its own consciousness in a way. So we can tap into that sun consciousness and use the sunlight like our ancestors as a source of power and vitality and energy that is actually it's tangible and it's not delusional, because without the sun we wouldn't be here, like basically. And yes, so that is one of the things that people forget, at how we belong to nature. Like we're not separate from nature, and we have forgotten how how like how connected we are, how we belong to everything here on this planet. So that's why we suffer, because we feel separate basically. We suffer because we believed this illusion of separation that makes us feel like we can be better than others as humans. And I posted that, I think, on my TikTok the other day about the root of suffering, and it's kind of like from Buddhism too. So a wonderful sun, yes. That's why it's called the Soul Shine Experience. I was inspired to name it that way because of the sun. The Soul Shine Experience. And Rapunzel is also one of my favorite movies, and both versions, Barbie, Rapunzel, and Rapunzel from Disney. And she's like, she has this connection to the sun because, her sun ray or a drop of sun fell to earth, and then was the flower and her hair and everything. Yeah. The sun has this beautiful consciousness, and it's healing. It's healing to know that we are connected to the air, to the mountains, to the rivers, to the ocean. And there are like videos of people, going into nature or like the ocean and asking permission for the ocean to maybe do a picnic or something like, something that can feel so ordinary and mundane that you don't even think about it. But if you go to the beach and you ask the ocean for its blessing or something, or I think I watched like a proposal in the ocean, like next to this beach, and it was like the ocean was like creating all these waves around the couple that felt really magical. Like the ocean knew that they were declaring their love, and it was so beautiful. Like, yes. So nature knows when you're connected, when you are you know you're a loving soul. Nature knows that, and she gives back so much. So I really feel like, yeah, as humanity, we are facing this collective shadow. Absolutely. We are coming to terms with this, all the fear and the shame we've carried for centuries. And we are deciding to like transcend that, like integrate all of that and transcend it. The ordinary is extraordinary. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the things I feel like when you live a very like present life, you are very in the moment. You cultivate that stillness, that contemplation, that mentality of I am enough here and everything is right where it needs to be. You're able to notice the magic in the mundane, in the extraordinary, in the ordinary. And it's a very healing practice, of course. Yes. So everything, like from the very start of your day, opening your eyes and thanking the universe, thanking, if you want, you connect to God or source, everything that is, you can, say, thank you, I am alive, what a miracle. I woke up today on a bed. I have clean air, clean water. I have Wi-Fi connection. I have a roof over my head. That's miraculous. That's a privilege in many ways. And we forget that. We forget that we are so privileged in many ways. So yeah, cultivating those moments of magic and gratitude and seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary, of course. Yeah, that's something I love. Like those routines we have, those little rituals that we do to take care of ourselves, feeding ourselves, bathing ourselves. It's all about like shifting from, oh, this is a chore, I have to do this, I have to do that. That feels like an obligation. But if you think about it, like, I get to do this, I get to make food from scratch every day if I want to, or I get to go to the local market and shop clean produce from the farmers that that also want to feed their families and work so hard to bring this food to my table. And yeah, like how magical it is. Little things compound to big things in time. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's like how I always aim to live and be like, feel like everything matters. Everything is not it's not too small to be grateful for and to make a difference. And yeah, those little acts of kindness do compound to big acts of kindness and massive waves of transformation in our collective. Mm-hmm. Yes, I love that. I love that. And that's what my guys said. Ultimately, our lesson is that, um, love, like agape love. Agape love means love and unconditional acceptance of everything. And that's how we evolve as souls, as human beings, here in this high density plane that is the 3D world, the material world. It feels hard because we are learning these lessons of separation from source and learning to choose, learning to go from the most restricted place, which is fear and separation, disconnection, ignorance. That's the most restrictive pole in the spectrum. We're learning to transcend that and go more towards love and inclusion and acceptance and forgiveness and compassion. And this is like, life, like the seesaw in so many ways, the seesaw. And yeah. And yesterday I was, we were talking about old souls and how old souls are in this stage of our evolutionary journey where we choose to learn through joy rather than struggle or pain or, being mean and cruel and evil to others, right? And this is something I go deeper inside my membership, the Soul Shine Experience on Patreon, by the way. And there, for example, we have 9 needs as a soul that we need to fulfill in order to feel like we feel whole and complete and healthy. And these are psychological needs too. And for example, some people crave this adventure, feeling like they are constantly exposed to new experiences and growing and that stuff. For example, younger souls, when they are manifesting their negative poles, this need for adventure can translate as this, for example, starting fights just to experience something, like just to feel alive, being cruel to people just to experience something emotional. And that it's not okay, that is wrong, of course. And that's how that need, they fulfill that need, but in a toxic, harmful way. But now, for example, an old soul, how would we fulfill this need for adventure and excitement and experiencing things? Live streams, for example, we can feel adventurous here. We are making connections with people. We are being curious. We're being open to learning about others and other people in the world, international friends. So you see how that need can be fulfilled from different places and also in different stages of your evolution. Of course, adventure also can be travel, experiences of travel, exposing yourself to new cultures, reading, watching foreign films, and all of that. So yeah, it is very exciting. And yeah, hopefully more people learn to choose through joy, to choose from that positive pole of expression of the soul instead of, using toxic means to reach their goals. So yeah. And it's really fun when you learn your soul blueprint and you start identifying those aspects of yourself, and like all the pieces of the puzzle are starting to fit in. And yeah, right now I'm recording some more energy activations for the membership. And yeah, I want to keep it a very accessible space for light workers and empaths and healers. And it's basically the fruits of this more than 10 years of healing practice, self-healing practice, and metaphysical studies and work with my clients. And yeah, I'm really like sharing with you the best of the best I am able to. my favorite thing about the Soul Blueprint, which is this framework that my guides have shared, is that it is very flexible, a flexible tool of self-knowledge, self-discovery. And you can use it for anything. Like your Soul Blueprint has all these different aspects. For example, your soul archetype, which is the role your essence chooses in this grand cycle of human incarnations. And there are 7 soul archetypes. Then there is your relationship style, which is the way you approach connections, relationships, and intimacy. Then your reality framework is like the filter through which you see reality. Again, there are also 7 filters, 7 relationship styles, and then other aspects to your soul blueprint. And you can make a soul blueprint for a business, for example. If one day you have an idea like, maybe I want to make a business or I want to be an entrepreneur, and you say, okay, maybe I want this business to have a certain type of energy. Maybe I want this business to feel like a creator, like a creative soul. And, you start doing the blueprint. So the energy I want to share with this business is creativity. And then the relationship style, I want it to be like something passionate, like passion mode, the passion offering this surges of energy and motivation for others through my art. And then, for example, the filter through which I want people to see my business, and I want this business to share a certain type of vision, a certain type of philosophy. I want it to feel idealistic, like I want my business to feel like it is improving the world. It is aiming for something bigger, for the potential for others. That's like the core of the idealism reality framework. And then the focused creative energy ratio, which is basically what we used to understand as feminine, masculine, but I feel like focused and creative energy is more is non-binary in a way. So creative would be something fluid, something more spontaneous, nurturing, connected, usually to what we understand as feminine. And then focus would be more linear, more logical, more step-by-step, and grounded, which traditionally is associated with the masculine. So, for example, in your business, you can say, okay, maybe I want my business to feel more focused, like more grounded and solid and masculine. And then you can see, right? You can see you have chosen a creative kind of type of business that has this idealistic version about reality. You want to share your ideas, your ways to improve society. You want it to feel passionate, and you also want it to feel grounded and stable and logical in some ways, and you start attracting maybe your tribe around those principles you have created through that soul blueprint you have applied to your business. And and then other aspects there you can add more. And not only for a business, but for a character or for a book or for a creative project, you can, if you like writing fan fictions or something like that, you can also create your own character using the soul blueprint. You decide what kind of essence archetype your character has. For example, it can be a catalyst soul, can be a warrior soul, a leader, a nurturer. So it's mix and match. That sounds like a fun way to create businesses and creative projects. Yes. And usually what you create is going to also be an extension of your own soul blueprint. For example, in my case, I am a catalyst and my sub-archetype is creator. So I have that mix of energies, inspiration, and expression. And I am an idealist, also in passion mode. That's my way of immersing myself in relationships. Then my creative focused energy ratio is 65 to 35. So I am like more fluid and spontaneous, but I also I have some percentage of focus on groundedness. And what else? My reality framework is idealism, as I said. And in a way, everything I've created is an extension of that. Like my love and soul community is a very flexible space. It's very fun. It's very spontaneous. I am not afraid of sharing my opinions here. That's what idealists usually do. Like, we like to state our opinions and ways we want to improve the world. We see the world as, an organism that is always evolving and improving itself. For example, maybe a pragmatic soul, a pragmatic person would do it differently, or someone who has the reality framework of realism, or the others, like we have spiritualism and cynicism. And of course, each reality framework, each relationship style has its positive pole and its negative pole of expression. So yeah, that is like a very quick summary of soul design. Yes. And I feel like when you learn your soul design, you can also understand other people and kind of like, do their template, do their blueprint. And you can do readings about that, about people in your life, see where they are coming from. And of course, everyone is compatible with everyone, basically. Everyone can be compatible and get along with everyone. It all depends on how you are using your blueprint, your design. It depends on how you are manifesting your essence, your true self. You are aligned with your truth. You are being authentic. You're being coherent with your soul, and you are always trying to choose kindness over fear and separation. Yes. And maybe next time we talk more about relationship readings and compatibility readings, because I feel like many people really love those. The relationship stuff and love and predicting your, marriages. Sometimes I get those questions about the timing of relationships or marriages. What do you think about that? Usually the top asked questions for many psychics and channelers are about either career, like where am I at in my career path? What do I need to change? Is it wise for me to make a new career move, or ask for a promotion, or change careers altogether, or start a business? Like, those are some questions. And also relationship, like, when am I going to get married? Or what are the traits of my future partner? And yeah, sometimes people ask those questions, and I tell them, you need to refine your question a bit, because there are many probabilities, and you want to be clear in how you word your question, because the depth of your question is going to predict the depth of the answer you get, in a way. So, for example, my spirit guides, their method of guiding people is very like empowering to the individual. Like, they don't want to give you the answer, because there's no fun in like someone giving you the answer, and it can't really solve all your problems. And contrary to what many people believe, that's not how like reality works. Like, your guides are not going to hand you the complete answer to the test. It's about you experiencing the spectrum of choices available to you. And yes, sometimes you're going to make some mistakes, and you're going to experience the pain and separation and suffering. But then you're going to, learn from that. You're going to say, okay, maybe I should have done something different. Maybe chosen a better partner, someone who didn't abuse me, or something like that. And yeah, it's a learning experience. And of course, it doesn't mean that you are going to deserve some lessons and you're going to experience suffering because that's how it is. No, like, our souls never want us to experience suffering. That's not what it happens. What happens is that sometimes the conditions around us trigger certain responses and certain dynamics that then create this experience of violence and abuse. So it is not your fault. For example, when people experience trauma and abuse, it's never your fault. It is the responsibility of the aggressor or the people who did wrong to you. Mm-hmm. And that happens a lot in relationships. And that's why my approach with my clients and in general with my friendships too is like, you need to love yourself more than, more than anyone. Like, you need to be your biggest priority, the love of your life, your biggest cheerleader, your best friend. And that's your baseline. You need to be your own baseline. So your frequency is exuding, oozing so much beauty and kindness and self-love and self-assurance that other vibrations, like lower vibration, let's put it that way, any vibration that is not matching with you is going to be repelled, like repulsed by you, and that's okay. You want to repel the people who are not right for you, and you want to become magnetizing to those people who are really going to love you and cherish you and respect you. So yeah, that's something that I love. Empowering you guys to really love yourselves and then find your soulmates or relationships or however you want to experience that kind of love. And love is all around, and love is you. You are that love you seek always. Yes. Very wise words. Thank you. I'm glad you agree. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm in this stage of my life where I am aware that I am my biggest source of love and nourishment, and I am pouring into me everything I want. And yeah, it's like, yeah, it's that inner fulfillment you get to feel when you don't wait for permission, don't wait for a partner or a relationship to get to experience life to the fullest. Because so many of us are socialized with this mentality that when you get a partner or when you have a relationship, only then you can experience this, activities together, and then you can feel happy. But you have to reverse engineer it. Feel happy first. Do your activities first that feel good to you, just because you can. Take yourself on different dates and the things you really love without waiting for like another person, a man, a woman, a partner to do that for you. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I know that this can be a very sensitive topic for people who have been single for a long, long time. And sometimes these people also happen to be like big romantics and yearners and hopeless romantics. So yeah, I hear you. It can feel like very painful sometimes not to have like someone there for you, maybe in your idea of romance or intimacy. Maybe you want someone else who can share that with you, but you can also hold that pain, that grief, and feel it. Of course, you don't have to pretend it's not there. You don't have to pretend you don't ache for someone who loves you, who cherishes you, who makes you a priority. Of course, you are allowed to feel that pain, to feel that grief. Maybe you felt like you missed out on many opportunities because you felt like you were struggling with your mental health, or you didn't have like a support network to help you, be on a healthy relationship. So yeah, give yourself time to grieve, time to, cry it out, please. Like somatic healing. That's why I love somatic healing, somatic movement, to move those energies through your body and out of it. The pain, the sorrow, the sometimes blaming yourself too, it's okay, give yourself space to blame yourself, blame people, blame society, and then like completely release it from your system. And then you can take a deep breath and say, okay, no matter what happens, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And that can make a difference, a very important difference in your life. Mm-hmm. So yes. Mm-mm-mm. This is a great topic to discuss too, relationships and love always. There are some quotes from my spirit guides I also wanted to share today. I have them here. It was about I I lost it. It's like on my notes here. I'm scrolling through my notes. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, here it is. It's about love being an ego death in a way. So the quote is like, die to the version of you that assumes unworthiness. Die to the version of you who assumes unworthiness. So yeah, love is an ego death in a way. Because when you really open up to love, you also open up to the fact that maybe you were clinging on to outdated beliefs about yourself, about your worthiness, about your deserving of love, right? Because we think that we need to be something else in order to be loved. We need to be better. We need to be healthier. We need to be prettier. We need to be smarter. And only then we will be allowed to feel love and receive love. So, yeah, you need to heal those parts of you that feel unworthy, feel feel disgraceful or shameful or afraid. Of course, not kill it, but integrate it and befriend it. And that's another topic I'm going to upload to the membership. Also about sub personalities. It's very connected to the soul blueprint too. How we develop sub personalities that deal with different aspects of our lives. And this is not something like I'm not talking about the mental health disorders of multiple personalities. No, this is an integrated way that you have created sub personalities, other aspects of you who deal with different scenarios in your life. And sometimes these sub personalities are a bit fearful, or they got locked into earlier stage of development. And for example, this is a very common example for when we are adults. Let's say we are in our 20s, 30s, 40s, and when we go back to our parents' home for Christmas or a family dinner, and it's like we suddenly regress to the version of us who was 13 years old, and we feel like kind of like different around our parents. We behave different, and that's like a sub personality of you operating right there on autopilot, like the version of you who was 13 years old and maybe walked on eggshells around your parents because they were so emotionally chaotic and unavailable. So you try to keep peace or something like that. And maybe that's a personality you created there. Also operates with your bosses, with people of authority. you kind of like retract, you maybe lower your voice, you maybe fake your tone to be more pleasant, be nicer, right? Because you don't want to experience like some sort of punishment from them, from those authority figures. And then you realize as an adult that, oh, maybe this subpersonality of me is, it's not living to its highest potential. I feel like the subpersonality is unknowingly holding me back in some places in my life, in some areas where I have to deal with people who have certain authority or remind me of my parents, right? And what you do is you meditate on that subpersonality, and I'm going to teach you that in the membership. You basically forgive this subpersonality, and you love them, and you share with them your kindness, your compassion, and you tell them that I love you, I see you, I know that you were there for me to help me live, to help me operate in life among other people, with my parents, with my authority figures. But now I tell you, like, I relieve you from this big responsibility. It's okay for you to evolve, to grow up too. There's nothing to be afraid of. You don't have to be a doormat or a pushover or right. You don't have to do that anymore. I love you and I'm empowering you. I am anointing you as a perfect being of love and kindness and light, and you can go back to me, come back to me, come back to my heart, integrated and safe and healthy. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's how you do that sub-personality work. And yeah, it can be very, very enlightening and an emotional process to realize that, yeah, sometimes we're operating on autopilot with these sub-personalities. And maybe some of these sub-personalities resemble people in our lives, usually parents, usually authority figures. So yeah, it's all about, witnessing, observing with this compassionate attitude, non-judgmental, and then forgiving yourself, forgiving the self-personality, creating this space of love and healing. Yes. What do you think, my friends? Some personalities. So yeah, I can't wait to share that with you in the membership. Like from the very beginner topics to the more advanced ones, the shadow work too, and the sub-personalities. I want to upload meditations about that too. Mm. And also using EFT tapping to integrate those aspects of you. Yeah. Yes, that explains a lot about how your behavior can change so suddenly. Yes, it is. It's incredible. Like you can be the most mature person. You can be so poised, and you can navigate social situations with ease and feel great on your own skin. But then when you go back to your parents' home, your family, then you're suddenly this fearful 12-year-old who's trying to, not say anything too loud or too state an opinion that can be taken the wrong way, and people are going to shame you for that, right? And also in relationships with your romantic partners, you can also go back to your 16-year-old self who felt, who felt very clingy and needy and possessive of the partner because you thought that no one else could love you, so you had to secure that relationship no matter what, and cling onto your partner and be possessive over them and check their phones. I don't know. So yeah, you never realize how impactful that can be, to really be aware of your sub-personalities. And you can start like doing a list of those moments where you felt you were completely operating from a different you, like an autopilot. And yeah. Also when dealing with maybe practical matters, simple matters, like when something, let's say you're plumbing, your, I don't know, your toilet stops working, something in your house stops working, and then you are like, what do I need to do? Like you like, it's like something else takes over, and you're like suddenly, no, like, you know, blaming yourself, you were stupid, you didn't took care of the appliances or something like that. And it can be a reflection of maybe the voices of a parent that felt used to feel like you know, how do I call it, like stupid or you know, dumb about around you know, practical stuff. So yeah. And I have a list here of the um, sub personalities, like a list to of questions to help you detect those personalities. Mm. 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 Okay, here it is. Okay, some of your your sub personalities can have these following beliefs or feelings. They believe they will lose power or control or no longer be needed. Are afraid of having your life change, even if it's for the better. Fear that essence, contact, manifesting your true self is going to make you too powerful, and these subpersonalities are afraid of being too powerful. These subpersonalities assume that living as your soul will take too much effort and they will not succeed, so why try? Right? That's some ways your subpersonalities can feel blocked from integrating fully with yourself. Your subpersonality can worry that people will not love you if you change and grow, or that people will reject you for being different. Mm-hmm. Then your subpersonality is concerned that you might get out of touch with reality and never get practical things done if you live as your complete whole self, your soul, your essence. Mm-hmm. So yes, subpersonalities. And again, subpersonalities are never inherently wrong um, or mean or evil. No, it's just adaptation. It's you adapting to different environments, and sometimes these subpersonalities feel very limited and fearful and doubtful and concerned, but they are trying their best for you. So the subpersonality is always thinking that it is doing what's best for you. So now you have to teach it that there are other ways, that they don't have to operate from fear or resistance anymore. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me know if you have any more questions about sub-personalities or shadow work or anything about it. Anything you're curious about soul design. And yeah, I always take your suggestions and questions very, very seriously, so I can continue to create that content for the membership and also to do these videos and live streams. And yeah, because it is a co-creation, especially the membership, because it is also based on some common themes among my friends and clients and also myself. And for example, the third module, which is about manifestation, and I have to upload it yet. I'm yet to upload some things there. Manifestation, but make it more conscious and connected to reality and actual issues and challenges we have, instead of something that is more bypassing human nature. It's like dismissive of our reality. Because manifestation can be a great tool, like can be used for good, of course. And to me, manifestation is simply the power of choice in action. And the power of choice is everything we have. It's like one of the greatest tools we have to decide what we want to have, what we want to be, and choosing and then staying true to yourself, persisting in your choices, in your decisions with unwavering belief. And again, to me, manifestation is also kind of like about reverse engineering the process, because we think that manifestation is about getting something outside of us. We usually, people think that if you get finally the relationship, you're going to finally feel love in your life. But you have to go back and say, okay, how can I feel the love in my life here and now, right here, right now? And then that's how basically it all starts unfolding for you. When you decide that you already have it here in you, that all your desires are simply externalizations of who you are. And when you learn your soul blueprint, for example, when you tap into the energy of your archetype, you're going to notice that some of the desires you had, some of the conditioned desires you had, are not really yours, of course, and you are free to release them. Like, for example, I'm going to give you an example from my own life. It's like, let's say, catalyst archetypes. Our archetype is all about transformation, charisma, inspiration. We manifest when we simply show up and we empower people, we inspire transformation in people, and that's how we operate at our highest. It's like the most natural state we can have, where life feels easy, feels like it's flowing. There is very little friction or feeling of struggle and challenge, because you are so connected to your essence of inspiration, of catalyzing healing, transformation, that life feels smooth, life feels easy. And for example, if you're a catalyst, but your parents were protectors or warriors, maybe they inculcated in you this mentality of you need to work hard, you need to earn your place in the world, you need to prove that you are capable by, doing more things, like grinding harder, hustling harder, taking 2 or 3 jobs, or I don't know. That is the protector warrior mentality. And to some level, to some extent, it is okay, it is valid for them, because that's how warriors manifest when they prove themselves, when they are loyal to their actions, that when they take action, build up momentum, and they are like in the world very action-based, action-oriented archetypes they are. But for a catalyst, that kind of lifestyle is going to feel completely soul-sucking and draining in some ways. And you can't tell a catalyst to grind harder. For the love of God, it's not how they operate. And if the catalyst is living by those principles, they are going to suffer. And sometimes unconsciously without realizing, and you're going to develop an autoimmune illness or diseases, because that's the way your body reacts to that imprinting, that conditioning. So, of course, in some ways, to have warrior parents, protector parents, can be helpful because they can inculcate in you this drive, this ambition for success, for achieving things, which can be very balancing for your archetype, because your archetype can be, catalysts is not that they are passive, but they are kind of like in the flow and present, and they can use some help too from the physical archetypes, the more grounded archetypes that are the warrior and the leader, the protector and the leader. So yeah, but the catalyst truly shines when they are kind of like a channel of spirit, a channel of inspiration and higher visions, and holding that vision for a future for others. And for example, I'm going to give you catalyst archetypes in celebrities and people. Let's say Princess Diana, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Jessica Chastain, who else? There are many catalysts out there. Elena Blavatsky, all these souls that had this kind of purpose of creating some change in society or even in their own families, inspiring something, right? Awakening people. That's how the catalyst truly shines and thrives and can build a sustainable lifestyle. And of course, depending on your soul blueprint, other aspects of your soul blueprint can relate more to other characteristics, like, because basically there are four axes, energetic axes: the inspirational, the expressive, the action axis, and the assimilative axis. So inspiration would be the aspects of your soul that are connected to kind of like the catalyst energy, and the nurture. The expressive aspects would be connected more to the sage and creator, and the action aspects are connected to the energies of the warrior and the leader. And the assimilative axis is connected to the traits of the explorer, who is the neutral archetype. For example, idealism and passion are connected to the inspiration axis, right? And for example, a catalyst who also has passion and idealism really has no choice but to express all those things, like more those higher energies, excitement, passion, right? So you can see how those energies compound in your soul blueprint. And then, for example, realism and pragmatism are, I think, more connected to the warrior and the leader, right? Different energies. So yeah, it's different pieces of the puzzle. So catalysts are people that bring some sort of change to the world. Interesting. Yes. And as I said, it doesn't have to be like a super polarizing change, or something that is on the news, or something big, celebrity worthy. No, it can be a very subtle transformation. For example, many catalysts can be stay-at-home moms, and they can simply inspire their children to be more who they are, to tap into their potential, to become football players. I don't know, right? Something different that is maybe out of the ordinary, or what's traditional for that family. So a catalyst mom who works like, I don't know, who is like a Peruvian mom or something like that, can have children that she detects their potential and says, okay, maybe our family it's not like a creative family, but I see you, I see in my child this spark of creativity. So I'm going to get him into dancing lessons, into music lessons, and maybe my kid ends up being a prodigy because I was seeing the vision, I was seeing his potential, and that mom was a catalyst working behind the scenes, and then her kid became like a popular famous singer. I don't know. Yes, small changes can be important too. Yes, tiny triumphs. I think that's the title of a new book. Oh, what's it about? What's that book about? Yeah, those small changes are important and necessary. And yeah, and for example, protector archetypes have this way of seeing the world that is about conquering things. And conquering doesn't have to be like in an oppressive way, but conquering a challenge, like rising up to the challenge and succeeding, finding like not only you succeed as an individual protector or warrior, but you also make others succeed with you. And they can be great team players. They can be usually lawyers. Many warriors and protectors are in law enforcement, or they are lawyers, attorneys, judges, financial advisors. So warriors and protectors usually choose these career paths that have tangible results, something practical, something that can feel like they are advancing, they are making progress. And yeah, also many athletes, many athletes are a combination of usually warrior energy, protector energy, and also creative energy, expressive energy. For example, Neymar, he's a warrior, a protector archetype with a sub archetype of sage, and that's where he gets that kind of like spark of of joy and childlikeness and whimsy. Cristiano Ronaldo is also a protector. Messi is actually an explorer. So explorer is the transparent archetype, and explorers can basically, they are the sponges of the universe. It's a very fascinating archetype. It's related to the assimilation axis of the energies. And explorers are transparent, and they usually adopt more of the qualities of their sub-archetype and other aspects of their soul blueprint. For example, if other aspects of their soul blueprint tend to the inspirational axis, they are going to appear as catalysts or nurturers, right? But also explorers can pick up the energies of their relationships, the people in their life, and kind of like mimic those energies. So for example, if your explorer is in a relationship with a sage, they can appear more sagey, like they can channel those energies more in their lives, and then they end the relationship with the sage, and now they are with a leader or a warrior. They're going to appear more like a warrior or a leader in a way. So it's all about how they operate in reality, and they connect to people also. It's really good. I love that archetype. Well, all archetypes are amazing. They're great. For example, I was saying Messi is an explorer with also, he has the, Messi is an explorer with the warrior sub-archetype. Mm-hmm. And I feel he also has this very creator-like tendencies, because creators are about that precision to creating systems, innovating, and Messi is a great like a prodigy in football, and many creators are like that. Many creators carry this energy of thinking outside the box and doing their own thing and creating new rules, like breaking with traditions and being a breath of fresh air. A beautiful rainbow of archetypes. Yes. Yes, absolutely. That is so fascinating. So eventually, I want to make like a huge post of all the combinations of energies, of archetypes and sub archetypes. It is fun. Like, for example, let's see, a sage with a sage archetype with a sub archetype of creator. That's kind of like double expressive energy. And that can manifest as, you know, a performer who has this unique artistry too. And yeah, I have like a list there in the Soul Shen handbook of the archetypes, and on the membership and on Patreon. Yeah, I'm going to upload with new people, new celebrities. I usually don't do like public celebrity readings because I feel like I really don't know them, and I don't know. I always feel kind of like wary of doing that publicly because I would only really do it for people I know. Because I feel like I'm not in the place to comment about other people's lives in a way. Anyways, I know that many psychics, many tarot readers do public readings for celebrities and that stuff. But for educational purposes, I can give you like an overview of the energies I feel about them. And always, you know, consent is so important energetically, and that is something very, very important for me as a healer, as a channel and coach. Like all readings need to be consensual and yeah. Okay, I'm going to show you here the library, the Patreon library. Sharing screen. Okay. Okay, can you see it there? So that's the collections. Okay, dashboard. The page. Okay, this is the okay, the Soul Shen handbook is all of the teachings in the program from module 1, nervous system healing, and to the soul blueprint. And we have like the introduction to the soul archetypes and each in-depth overview of each role. Let's see the creator. Yeah, here I gave you some examples like Albert Einstein, total creator, innovator, Aurora, Kim Tae-young, and Frida Kahlo. They're great examples of that originality that can feel eccentric and charming and different, and yeah. And there are the archetypes and the sub-archetypes. Oscar Wilde, for example, this is the creator sage. It's a creator with a sub-archetype of sage. And I added this part here, the wounding and the medicine for each soul archetype. So the wounding is those beliefs, those negative beliefs they carry sometimes. For example, many creators struggle with, I create to be seen, but when I am seen, I immediately want to hide. Limerence is eating me alive, but I don't know how to stop. Like, yeah, creators can be so limerent. They can get lots of crushes sometimes, and they struggle with expressing their emotions or feeling like they are so consumed by their love. But sometimes that kind of love is actually an illusion or a way for them to feel some excitement. And yeah, it's not that they are actually in love with the person, but they are in love with the idea of the person. I don't know if that has happened to you, if you are a creator, anyone here who's watching. Of course, that is not inherently bad, but it's how you integrate that limerence. So yeah, limerence can be a theme for creators and sages too, especially creators. Yeah. Other wounding they have is people see my quirks and think I am doing it for attention. What they call performance is just me being real. It breaks my heart how my most authentic moments are the ones nobody believes or takes seriously. Yeah, that happens a lot with artists and creators, that it's just who they are. Like their quirks, it's just who they are. They are not trying to be something else. But sometimes people get triggered by that uniqueness. So your medicine for the creator is your sensitivity and uniqueness shape reality. You are the bridge between ideas and forms. Your task build an inner home so solid and coherent that the outer world, instability and criticism can't collapse you anymore. Act from integrity and let your genius show us what's possible. Yes. And then we have, what else? The creative and focused energy, your life goal. Yeah. This is the post about the life goal, your soul's compass, the primary motivator of your lifetime. This is another important aspect of your soul blueprint. And there are 7 goals as well. Acceptance, reevaluation, growth, discernment, influence, surrender, and flow. Again, each of these kind of like reflect the energies of some archetypes too. Your archetype is who you are at an essence level, and your goal is how you learn to be your archetype, the way you achieve your own particular tasks. For example, a leader's soul can absolutely incarnate with a goal of surrender. And when they do, their formidable presence doesn't disappear, but the shape of their life becomes about devotion to something larger than their own agenda. Because surrender is a very, like the goal of letting things be like kind of like flowing in a way. Surrender is when you devote your life or your energy to things outside of you. Surrender is connected to the nurture archetype in a way. Surrender teaches you to be part of a group, to be led, to follow others, not because you are incapable of leading, but you find fulfillment in following a cause, following a mission, and supporting, for example, your family, supporting a family member, right? Sometimes the resonance between role and goal creates a kind of amplification. A sage with acceptance, for instance, is doubly oriented toward the social world, deeply motivated to connect, to be received, to belong, and to amplify authenticity. Yeah, it's so exciting to learn about this. And I already uploaded the 7 goals here. 7 goals. And yeah, this week I am uploading the 9 needs, well, the 9 needs descriptions and examples. It's already here. Yeah, I was sharing about freedom today, the need for adventure. Yeah. When it's positive, you are present. When you are in negative, you are dramatic, or like drama for chaos. An example, picking fights for excitement versus finding wonder in everyday activities, right? There you see how your need for adventure is expressed. And that's everything you get and so much more when you join us here on Patreon. And the soul design activation, nervous system healing, and more. Yay. So this week I'm going to go live around this time too, like starting from 2 p.m. EST. And of course, sharing here more fun stuff with you guys, and also psychic readings in case you're interested. Also live psychic readings on stream here. You get all the details in the description if you want to order one here on the stream. And yes, let me know if you're interested in a reading. Otherwise, let's keep chatting about life and everything. I have a free series about chakra healing too on my channel. Like, yeah, I was going through my old videos, and I have available that free EFT tapping challenge still, like 30 days of EFT tapping that I did in 2021. Such a long time ago, I can't believe it. But that was fun. And then I have, I think one about codependency too. Yeah, I have lots of uploads on my channel for free. Your videos are the most helpful. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. I'm so glad. Yes. I do have like so many ideas all the time. As I said, I am a catalyst with a creator sub archetype, and I feel like when you are like your sub archetype is creator specifically, we are in constant flow of ideas. Like we want to clone ourselves to be able to get more things done, because we have so many ideas all the time, not enough bodies to channel all of them. But it is okay. So that's how my archetype expresses itself, through creativity, through sharing, through videos, through social media. And for example, if my sub archetype was warrior or protector, maybe I could have been a lawyer. Like, so my archetype catalyst, who aspires has this aspiration of justice and healing and consciousness growth, would be expressed through making sure people are receiving, what's fair. Like there's balance, there's equality, right? That's one way the catalyst role could be expressed. And yeah, it's so cool. Or a sage, like Jessica Chastain, I think. No, which one is catalyst sage? Yeah, I don't remember now, but yeah, there are a few artists that are catalysts with sage sub archetype. So in that case, the catalyst energy, the inspiration, gets expressed more socially in ways like the sage, through communication, through writing, maybe through podcasts, or like events, like very social events. And yeah. I am going to get a reading from you, if that's okay. Hold on. Okay, I'll wait. Don't worry. I'll be here. Yes. Yeah, these psychic readings are only available through the streams. $25. All the instructions are in the description if you're curious about it. And yeah, let's see what we have in store for you. The astral plane, your guides, anything. I'm going to get another cup here because I'm a bit thirsty and I want to prepare for your reading, okay? Hold on a second, I'll be back. Mm. Oh, wait a moment. I need to close some windows because my memory is overloaded here. Okay. Okay, perfect, Maite. I'm going to log into my account here. Can you guys see me here? Because I think my life is frozen, or is it just my my computer that's frozen? Are we still alive? Let me know. I'm going to. Oh, it's working for you. Perfect. Yes, perfect. Okay, we're here. Yay. Okay, perfect, Maite. I got your question on my email. Perfect. Okay, I just read your question. Okay. Exciting. Yes, perfect, Maite. I'm going to get some more water because I already I fixed this issue here, so now I can, yeah. I'm going to get some water quickly and I'll be right here with you. Okay, I'm back. Perfect. Let's get started with a reading for Maite. Maite, let me know if you're here in the chat so we can start. I have some cards here with me for more extra insights. And yeah, I'm going to tune in and share the answer for you. Yep, I'm here. I'm excited. Oh, excellent. Okay, I'm going to put my cat here for a moment. Okay. So the first thing I felt and saw is like a kind of art workshop. Maybe, I don't know if you have attended one lately, but it's kind of like a way for you to get some variety and diversity in your experience of art. So sometimes we can get so hyper focused on one way of doing things that we don't see all the possibilities around us. I don't know how I, oh, sorry, can you hear me now? Yeah, you left the microphone there. So this art workshop came to mind, like this space with other artists, a very cozy space, maybe not many people, but 2 or 3 people there, maybe taking a class at this workshop or atelier. And to me, it felt really welcoming for you. So it's like your guides are inviting you to maybe go into one of those places where you can learn some artsy techniques and get exposed to other people who are doing something similar to you and get that inspiration flowing again. Because sometimes when you feel stuck, it is because you need more inspiration or connection. And yeah, it's an invitation for your spirit guides to have more fun with it. It doesn't have to feel like a chore. Like art doesn't have to feel like a chore, like an obligation. So this is your kind of like the energy. I feel like that kind of like a mini artsy community there. Maybe where you are, where you live, there can be such a place. Maybe at a cafe, maybe someone is hosting small classes, or even like a gallery, like something there that has to do with community. So you can get your inspiration back. You can connect with other people and see what they are doing. And I feel especially it's going to be important to have that kind of like real world physical touch and connection with experience. Yeah, maybe I have been too focused on improving instead of just having fun. Yes, it's like remember your why. It's like that's the energy I'm getting. Remember your why. The why of an artist is usually starts with that childlike excitement of I want to share this because I can, because this flows through me. This is what I want the world to see. This is a way I feel alive. My art makes me feel that I am part of this world, that I can share beauty with the world, share more colors, share my own perspective on life, something like that. So yeah, it's having fun and having all these possibilities around you. Like, you know, I feel this visual of like raindrops falling on the streets, and like it's always like dancing and shifting, and this flow energy, this water energy. I remember yesterday you told me you connected to the water benders. That was your element. So maybe something with water in there. Like, I don't know, I'm feeling like, yeah, maybe the gallery, the art gallery, or a workshop that has to do with the elements of nature or water, or because water is all about flow. Water is all about changing states, changing states. It never stays the same, and because of that, it is able to create life, right? Because yeah, and I'm now remembering this quote from Bruce Lee: "Be like water, like be water." Yeah. So that theme could also inspire you. The themes of water and flow and changing states, like clouds, like rivers, oceans. It changes ice. It changes the density, everything. So yeah, I have some cards here with me too. That quote is cool, yes. And the way I think Bruce Lee speaks is very, when he's like philosophizing, it's like very like this, like be like water. Oh yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, listen from the masters. Okay. Oh, let's go through each card we have here. We have Keepers of the Heart, the Age of Light, Leap. So the first one is Keepers of the Earth, which says you are not alone and your ancestors stand beside you. And I also interpret this card as, again, that feeling of community that sometimes artists can lack or neglect, that because creativity, I know it can be a lonely pursuit because it's you and your art, and usually you are alone at home drawing or writing, and it can feel lonely, it can feel isolating in some ways. So creating some form of community or becoming part of a small community, and it doesn't have to be something super like structured or like a membership or something like that, but you can just attend some classes or go to galleries and visit new things, experience new ways of doing art, maybe following new tutorials. Maybe that's what your guides are telling you to do. Maybe follow a tutorial from a whole different technique or a different style you are not really familiar. Yeah, you've had an urge to be a hermit lately. I get that. I get that. It's okay. Beautiful cards. Oh, thank you. I want you get this bigger so you can see. Okay, where is the camera? Okay, here we have it. I look giant now. Okay, this is the card here, the second card, the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So yeah, Maite is a very old soul. We know this. We know that people who gravitate to this community are old souls, and you've been training for this for lifetimes. So this is a reminder that in your heart, in your soul, you are already familiar with everything that is art and creativity, and all these states of stagnation or feeling blocked or stuck are temporary, okay? Your inspiration will come back. It will come back. Another thing is coming. Remember that scene in Kiki's delivery service when she visits the cottage of Ursula, this young woman who went to the woods to to paint ravens, I think, or these birds. Remember that Kiki was also struggling with her magic. Kiki was feeling disconnected from her powers. She felt like she was losing her connection to magic. And Ursula gives that advice of, do other things, like have fun, do other things, take walks, do stuff at noon, take naps, and suddenly your inspiration is going to come back and you're going to paint amazing things. Or, in the case of Kiki, you're going to have your magical powers again. So yeah, I remember that quote. Let me find it for you now. I love that. Studio Ghibli is always sharing that wisdom with us. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's the quote. Explore tour. Oh, is it good morning or evening there? Because here is good night. Oh, hello there, my friend. Welcome to the stream. It is good afternoon here. Hello. Welcome to our cozy sanctuary. I'm doing psychic readings for our viewers, and I was sharing with my Te about answers for her creative path and how to get unstuck from creative blocks or feeling stagnant, what to do with that. So I remembered also this quote from Kiki's Delivery Service, and I think it's so apt for everyone, I feel. So I'm going to share it here. There it is. Suffering creative block. Stop trying, take long walks, look at scenery, do stuff at noon, don't even think about flying, and then pretty soon you'll be flying again. Yeah. Love from India. Thank you so much. Hello, India. Lots of love. And then the final card we got for my Te is Leap. Mm-hmm. There it is. You go first, the universe will catch you. And this is a reminder that we don't need to have all the answers figured out. Like sometimes we want to, well, if you are neurodivergent, we want to have some certainty and security before we make choices, we take actions. But sometimes it's okay to say, universe, catch me. I'm going to take a leap of trust. Maybe I'm going to try something different. And I trust that you will help me out. You will support me. Yeah, so basically I have to not just focus on drawing, but also just the beauty of life and how the world around me. Absolutely. Yes, because that is how you feed your art, your creativity, right? Because your art is basically, you are showing us the way you see the world. And if you want to do that, you first need to see the world. You need to see that beauty. And then you are going to share it. And it's going to feel so natural. Mm-hmm. Focus on the beauty around you and within you too, of course. You can also be your own muse. That's another energy I'm feeling. Like the artist can also be her own muse. Be your own muse, your artist, the artist of your lifetime. Mm-hmm. Yes. Take that leap of trust. Mm-hmm. And yeah, allow yourself to bask in the beauty of the world and do things just because you want to do it, just because it comes to you spontaneously, those ideas. And I feel like that is also very apt for me these days. Like when I want to feel like I am flowing with my creativity, to get unstuck. For me, it means, again, talking to people, doing these live streams again, connecting with the world around me, feeling inspired, because for us catalyst archetypes, inspiration is important. Be your own muse and artist of your life. Those are beautiful words. Yes, that's a spirit message for you, my dear friend. Be your own muse and artist of your life. Yes, because I feel like many artists sometimes they can feel like they are simply the observers in their life. Also, if you have explorer qualities to you in your soul blueprint, because explorers are about observation and contemplation. So if you have that combination of creator and explorer, you can feel like you are just you're observing your life. You're kind of like a secondary character sometimes, but you need to realize that you are the protagonist and you are worthy of all that love you give to your art and you want to share. Like, because artists, their way of loving the world is through that art, through those tangible products or visual compositions, in some ways, expressive compositions. That's how you feel in touch with the world. That's how you communicate who you are to others, right? Because sometimes artists can be very shy too, can be very introspective, and that is beautiful, of course. So you use art as a way of saying, hello, I am here. I want to be seen. I want to be recognized too, and that is completely valid. Mm-hmm. Yes. I think you mentioned one time that you related to those energies, or maybe I am imagining it, but yeah, I remember explorer and creator. Mm-hmm. Because your energy, I feel your energy is very, very adaptable, very transparent too, very chameleonic in a way. So you have that quality. It's beautiful. We say in India, it's like Karo subscribe, Karo our share, Kare. Oh, so that's kind of like how streamers ask viewers to subscribe and share. Well, yes, if you are here, please like and subscribe. It really helps me with the algorithm. Yes, I remember reading about those and they really resonated with me. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually I tell my friends and clients, when a person relates to all of the archetypes at the same time or are a bit unsure, it's usually because they are explorers or they have these assimilative energies in their soul blueprint, which are about that chameleonic energy merging with other things, merging with your environment, merging with people. At what age you dive into this field, spiritual awakening? Because I am 25 and my mind is scattered. I'm going to answer you. Wait. So yeah, that's the reading we had for Maite. Thank you, Maite, for asking your question and for your beautiful energy, for allowing me to read into your energy field. And yeah, I really hope that helped you. And ultimately, you in your heart, you know what you need to do. And every choice you make is going to be aligned with you because you are pure love, my friend. You're pure love. Oh, let's talk about spiritual awakening, of course. I love to talk about spiritual awakening and how to integrate spirituality into our daily lives because that is important to do. It's not just, forgetting about the material stuff. And okay, let's see. So I experienced like this period of depression when I was 17, 18, 19 years old. So 2014 was kind of like a difficult year for me. And oh my dad, thank you. This question has been on my mind for so long, and I have so much more clarity about this now. I feel super cheered up from this. Oh, thank you. Lots of love. I'm so I'm so grateful for you too. Thank you. It's my privilege, my honor to do this for you. Thank you. Clarity. I can type. It's okay. It's okay. You're excited. I know. It's listening from you. Your excitement. um. Yes. And yeah, spiritual awakening. So I had that depression when I was around like 18, 19 years old back in 2014. And I have a full video on my channel about my awakening. But in short, I was under so much pressure from my environment, and I was suffering inside. I was feeling very frustrated with myself, and every aspect of my life was crumbling down. And I struggle with insecurities, feeling isolated too, feeling disconnected. And I am an eldest daughter, so I don't know if you're familiar with that, but eldest daughters usually have a big responsibility in their families, especially in Latino families. I am Peruvian. So I felt like everything was going wrong in my life. And I also was struggling with managing my emotions and my sensitivity. And of course, I was undiagnosed, but back then I had ADHD, but I couldn't understand that yet. And I was very like in pain, like emotionally, and pretty much feeling like I don't have a purpose on earth, and I'm so frustrated and sad and overwhelmed and ashamed. And then I started practicing meditation to help myself. And after a few sessions of meditation, I went so deep into me that it's like I really connected to my full essence. And I had this experience of really oneness with everything. It's undescribable. And I think people who have experienced some levels of psychological pain so profound, it's like your mind has no choice but to either completely like implode and maybe get into complete psychological death, and pain and death, even literal death, or being reborn. Like it was like my whole energy was rewired and reset to its factory state in a way. But I also experienced this big love and gratitude for everything, for the universe. I felt so connected to everything. It was like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was like experiencing God in me, or universe. And you don't have to even have a religion to experience this kind of state. It's just like knowing that I was just right there where I needed to be, and that I was ultimately perfect, and I was a beautiful being of love and light, just like everyone else. Like all of us are this. We're all universal consciousness experiencing itself as a human being. And nothing can take that truth away from you, nothing. And in that moment, I felt this complete peace, like unlimited peace. It was like me floating in this vast ocean of love and healing. And I later read, because I wanted to contextualize the experience, because back then I was kind of like so taken aback by this state of peace and bliss, and that I couldn't really like put it into words. And people in my life were noticing, because they said, wow, you look so different. What is going on? And yeah, like it is different because I've changed. I'm reborn. And yeah, I couldn't like really explain it, but for the 2 weeks following my awakening, which was like, let's say, the last week of January 2015 or something, I felt in that state for about 2 weeks. Like everything was so beautiful in my life. Like it was like when you are watching a video in 140 pixels, like in that very bad quality, it was like suddenly turning it up all the way up to 8K full HD, like the highest quality possible. And I was like, everything in this world is so alive and beautiful, and I am all of this. I am the flowers, I am the trees, I am everything. And people are walking through their lives without realizing they are everything. And I was like, whoa, like, oh. And then of course that kind of state like was integrating more and more in me, and it was like, it wasn't like such a huge like shock, or I don't know. It kind of like went back to regular, to normal. Like my state of energy wasn't as heightened, because no person after that, after my awakening, I asked my guides about that specifically, because my guide said, yeah, no person can sustain that energy, because you would really stop like operating in society and doing things, because you feel so fulfilled and so alive in the moment that you don't need anything else. And of course that's going to take you away from the experience of humanity and life. So it's like your mind clears itself, it rewires itself, that process is complete, and then you go back to you, of course, but from this new space of awakening. And then afterwards I was researching about other experiences of awakening and trying to compare my experience to other people's, because I wanted to learn, I wanted to understand what was happening. And because that experience made me realize that my passion and purpose was about sharing that with others, and trying to help others remember that we are that love, we are that unconditional love and unity. That's who we are, beyond the fears, beyond the struggles. We are all that magic. And I was like, if I did this, everyone else can, and I want to help people do this. And then I started reading about non-duality, all these Buddhist teachings. I started reading about Advaita Vedanta, Ramana Maharshi, my Indian friends, autobiography of a yogi, Paramhamsa Yogananda. Yeah, I learned from these teachers how they contextualize this experience of oneness and unity. And also Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. And I remember when I read his book, it was like, wow, this person had something similar to what I experienced. Because if you read The Power of Now, the way he describes his awakening was very similar to mine, like really. And I was like so surprised, because wow, like how this white man from another country, a whole different culture and everything, could have the same experience of a Peruvian teenager. And like, wow, I felt connected to Eckhart Tolle, and thankful, you know, because his book is those teachings that came from his soul, from that experience. And I'm like, yes, this is amazing. I am sad you suffer so much, but your journey is so interesting to hear about. Oh, I admire you for using these experiences to become a compassionate and powerful healer. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my dad. Yes. Thank you. It means a lot, really. It's just so encouraging to me. Thank you. Oh. And yeah, it's like when you have those kinds of experiences, it's like, it's not about me. It's like sharing that. It's becoming a channel of that energy and those teachings and those insights to flow and to be shared with others. So, of course, having those experiences doesn't mean that I am enlightened and perfect and I already don't have to do anything else. But I'm still a human being, of course. We are all human beings. We are all learning these lessons. And if you are incarnate now as a human, it means that you still have things to work on, spiritually, intellectually. You still have lessons to learn. So right now, I feel like my lesson was about that, sharing all those insights and healing with others. And yeah, as I said, the Eckhart Tolle books really helped me. And then I reconnected with my spirit guides after that awakening, and I felt like their presence was right there. But I was kind of like blocking myself from them because I was in so much pain that they weren't able to reach me. And after my awakening, it was like everything was cleared for them to step in and safely communicate with me. Mm-hmm. I also wonder how somebody with totally different cultures, they can relate to this experience the same way. Yes. Yeah, it's like it shows you that we are human being and we are we are one. Like in the end, there is no real separation. There is no real boundary or frontiers or right, because sometimes we think that like the maps show you these countries and everything and they have like these boundaries and borders, but it's just an imagination, like a collective decision we made, but it's not the truth. No, it's not the whole truth. And yeah, that awakening taught me that in the end it's like we're all extensions of you. If you want to call it God, if you want to call it the way, Tao, all that is, source, universal consciousness, love, it is the same, but we are extensions of that, and we are perfect. Our souls are perfect. And it, of course, and that experience also taught me that yeah, multiple realities can coexist at the same time. And for us who are all souls, we are learning to comprehend how all those truths can interact and coexist, because on some end, on the restrictive end of the spectrum, we have, for example, those people who are cruel and evil and doing harm. And on the other end, we have these activists who are so brave, who are sailing to Palestine and trying to help people. And yeah, it's like both are coexisting here. And both have their own lessons. And you realize that evolution is all about coming home. And coming home means unity, means love, means connection, means acceptance. And it's not fear, it's not hatred, of course. And earlier in the stream, I was sharing about how our souls evolve through different states of consciousness and how the current systems we see in the world, like capitalism and that, these have evolved from young soul culture, young soul thinking, which are souls with fewer lifetimes on Earth, who are still learning these lessons of material security and achievement and money and success in that way. And that's their level of consciousness. They can't see past that. It's like a hormonal teenager, for example, or a toddler who is having a temper tantrum and shitting on their diapers. So, for example, the people who come here to my streams or in my community and my clients and my friends, we tend to be old souls, and we already have had many lifetimes on Earth. We already know what it means to feel ambitious and like feel successful and maybe do all these things from fear and hatred. So we learned those lessons. We are not doing that anymore. Now our energy is about healing and integrating things, connecting people. Mm-hmm. I also want to view everything in 8K fully. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's, I hear this a lot, and it is a very frustrating reality that we need to work for this system and we need to do like sell our bodies pretty much. I was like, this morning I was reflecting on that, how it's like we're really trying to sell our bodies, and for, we sell our time we sell hours of our lives for money and resources. And yeah, it's like many people in many places, they don't have the privilege of even discussing these topics because they are in survival. They are living paycheck to paycheck, and feeding their families of 5, 6 children, and yeah. So again, all of those realities are coexisting. And to me, I feel like your task as an old soul or as a mature soul, it is to really choose from your heart what works best for you. And sometimes that is going to mean that you make some compromises, some small sacrifices, maybe like people who choose to have those 9 to 5 jobs in order to feed themselves, and trying to see it as a way that you're taking care of yourself with the conditions you have, with the circumstances you have, and try not to blame yourself for that or blame others. But also, for example, participating in activities with your community, or signing petitions for your authorities, your officials, to really make changes, like to really work for the community, for the population, and making sure you're voting for good politicians, for good leaders. Like those things compound, and sometimes it feels like we don't have a say as an individual, but we are incredibly powerful. So these days, I am seeing that many people choose alternate lifestyles, and that's something that, in a way, I am also doing, because my goal is to really live this lifestyle where I have like a passive income and more freedom to do the things I really like to do. And in many ways, I feel like I have already achieved it. But this time, I want to extend that to my family. I want to retire my parents. I want to be able to really buy them a house and do all those things. Like these things that fill me with joy and excitement, because it may feel challenging, but I'm like, let's do it. It's going to happen. Let's make it possible. Let's manifest it. And yeah, like, once again, all souls have this all-encompassing way of seeing the world. When you're an old soul, you carry within you all those younger souls, because you still carry that baby soul age, that young soul age, that mature soul age. And some of the tactics or the techniques that those younger souls have are successful in this world. For example, young souls can be very ambitious and focused on success and achievement, and they get it. Like, they get their bag, they get their money. And for example, old souls like us who are healers or creators, sometimes we have a difficult relationship with money. And because we feel like, for example, especially in the spiritual community, many people feel like asking for money for your services is wrong, because psychic abilities are a gift from God, and you shouldn't profit off from them. But again, for example, an accountant, you pay an accountant to help you do your taxes, and that's okay. And you could say math could be a God-given gift, right? To me, if you are good at math, that is an absolutely worthy and amazing thing to do, because I can do math to save my life. Like, maybe I wasn't gifted with the the ability to do math and maybe that kind of stuff, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like, people still need to live in this system, and we still need to get what's fair for us to live a good life. So, for example, I tell my clients sometimes that, yeah, you can create your own business. You can create a sustainable lifestyle without feeling like you are using other people, right? Because many of us are so caring and so aware of how business or how work can become like a source of manipulation and taking advantage of others, because that's what we see in the world, like people competing for positions and all of that, and it feels so toxic and ew, like disgusting in many ways. So we don't want to do that, and we don't have to do that. That's why for example, I do my streams, I post content. The way I make an income is through creating community and helping people feel seen. And I don't feel like I am pushing them or being too salesy or something like that. And I am very transparent in the way I create my things and do my business. So that's something I see more and more. Like many creators, many healers are choosing to be self-employed or have different sources of income that feel aligned with their path. And that's how they really, they start to thrive and share their gifts. And yeah, in this world, you need to first pour into your own cup before you want to do things for others. So really make sure that you are taking care of yourself, of your needs, and and again, we are evolving to a different way of approaching resources and finances. And I think I've mentioned it here sometimes about a resource-based economy, that we're seeing how all these elites and billionaires are hoarding wealth. And you know what? They are not going to last forever. I can tell you that. They are not going to last forever. They are slowly breaking apart. Like, they are breaking apart. It is something that my guides have shared with me. And I also feel it in my heart that their supremacy is going to end in less than 60 years or so. Like, yeah. And right now it feels so hard and difficult, but you know how things, they can change so fast in the matter of seconds, days, weeks, right? So do not underestimate the power of the collective consciousness deciding that we are done with the elites and the billionaires. And yeah, and then we are going to evolve into resource-based economies where we're going to say, okay, everyone deserves food, everyone deserves healthcare. We don't have to charge for those things. We can simply share and take care of each other and find new systems to make sure everyone is taken care of, including disabled people, because they are people too. They are persons. They are human beings with human rights. And no one should be left behind just because they can't work a traditional job, right? Every time I come to the stream and watch it, you give me Miss Energy and Positive. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you to say, my friend. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's thanks to you too, because all this energy, we are creating it together, my friends. It's a two-way communication. And yeah, it's like, I definitely feel like those elites are breaking apart from the inside out. Like, they can't sustain itself. That kind of mentality, that kind of lifestyle can't be sustained anymore. Nature fights back. Nature will always try to find balance. And we are nature. We are human beings. And you know, when a human being, when an external agent like a virus gets in your body, what does your body do? You get a fever. Your body gets an inflammation to fight that infection. And of course, yeah, it can feel uncomfortable to have a fever. You're like, oh, like down on your bed, like, ugh. You feel like shit, but it doesn't last forever. That fever is actually good for you. And in social terms, what can a fever be? Like, what is a fever on social terms? That's a word that starts with R and finishes with N. Revolution. So those kind of like fevers are happening right now. We're seeing those fevers in people who are rising up and standing up for what's right. And that's the fever that is going to heal the world. We are the fever. Good people with passion, with kindness in their hearts, fearless. And again, all the archetypes participate in this. All the soul archetypes have a place in this new world, of course. And each of us has our own way of expressing this energy, like revolutionary energy in a way.
So yeah, I would love to do like another workshop on that. Like, yeah, it would be very cool. So for example, how each archetype expresses that thirst for change and transformation. Like, how do you really use your gifts to help the world? Yeah. So yes, each soul archetype can do wonders for humanity. And this is all available inside my membership. As I was telling our friends here, I have my membership on Patreon, and there I post everything about soul design, which is the channel framework of self-understanding that my guides shared with me. And I post about nervous system healing, nervous system recalibration, because it's so important to learn about our bodies, about how we operate. Like, our nervous systems are in burnout. Many people are dealing with burnout because, yeah, their works are very tiring and draining, and they have to deal with people who are very difficult. So we are experiencing burnout, and sometimes you need to really learn these techniques, these self-healing techniques with somatics, for example, really helping your body relearn that security, that inner safety, like through your breath, through certain movements, certain postures with your body to alchemize the fear, and really tap into those deep-seated emotions that you don't have time or space to express in your day-to-day life. We learn to do that through somatic healing, through somatic experiencing, and yeah, and also soul design, and posting about soul design, your soul blueprint, and manifestation. So yeah, it's exciting. But yeah, yesterday we talked about again how all these social changes are occurring in the world, and yeah, these evil people are grasping at straws right now. They just have no, like, they know it deep inside. They know it. That's why they are so afraid. That's why they are lashing out. They are so afraid. But all these spiritual tools, my friends, I share with you are really, very helpful for all souls and light workers and healers. Because in this new world, I feel like the leaders are going to be people who emotionally regulate, who are centered, who are in touch with their essence, who know how important it is to be calm in the storm. Again, things are going to change very, very fast. And it can be destabilizing, the kind of speed of changes we're going to see. And this is not to alarm you, but we are going to have to adapt. And it is okay. It's going to be okay. As I said, if you are a person who is in touch with your integrity, your values, love, you're going to be great. Like, yeah, you're going to be great. Finding power in community is so important these days. And community, I mean, taking care of each other truly, and learning that sometimes we have strengths and weaknesses, and it's okay to ask for help. And the other day I was like thinking about having like a community, like small communities for people with neurodivergent people. And you know that, for example, if you're autistic or ADHD, sometimes you have a special interest. You can enjoy doing a certain activity and you are the best at it. For example, some people with ADHD or autism, you can be great at cleaning. Yeah, like you can enjoy cleaning houses. You are great at sorting out stuff and or organizing things. And maybe one of your friends is great at cooking. You are so hyper focused in cooking and you make the best recipes ever. but maybe that friend who is a cook, a great cook, struggles with the organization aspects, and then the other friend who is a great cleaner struggles with the meal planning and making food. So both of them can get together and live in the same place, and they complement each other pretty well. And imagine that happening on a more on like a bigger scale, like people coming together and sharing their strengths and complementing each other. So that should be the goal for the future, like this kind of community living where people are free to express their uniqueness and their services and feel part of something. Yes, community is key. You rightly mentioned that people unnecessarily accumulating money for redeeming smile. Yeah, it costs almost nothing to be balanced in our minds. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, for me, the true measure of success, the true measure of wealth is, one, when you are a kind-hearted person, and two, when you find that abundance within you, when you can enjoy your own company, when you can feel like you are enough and you don't need to oppress other people in order to feel good with yourself. Because that's what these evil people do. Like they try to feel their emptiness, their void through all these horrible things they do. Community is unity. Unity is key. Yes. Community. Yes. So that's one of my long-term goals, I think, and I really want to like focus on that too. Like I'm trying to save up and learn about investing and investments and like those financial terms I'm not really familiar with, but long-term long-term investments or something like that. I don't know, but yeah. So basically, I really want to save up to retire my parents and hopefully get my beautiful cottage in the ocean, by the ocean, and yeah, where I can have an animal sanctuary for my dogs and cats, rescued dogs and cats. Yeah, that's my dream. I really want to dedicate my life to the animals, like when I'm older. Yeah, that would be so beautiful. Like, yeah, I'm just, I'm getting emotional just by thinking about it. I feel animals are just one of the purest form of love that the universe shared with us. What will happen to them? Oh, yes. I feel like, we could talk a lot about karma and how nature always finds its balance. And of course, karma is not about punishment, it's about equalizing the energy. So these people who have been doing bad things, they are going to get their karma back. Like they are going to learn that it's not okay to do some things. And in some cases, we're going to see that in this lifetime, we're going to see how they really, like, they have these big downfalls and breakdowns. And yeah, they disappear from the public eye forever because they are so ashamed, or they are just, they are thrown into jail. Or, well, I don't want to say the word here because my stream is probably going to get canceled, but what happens sometimes, like the French Revolution, what happened to the people, in power. But so yes, it's like, again, the fevers, all the small and big fevers we are experiencing now. And as all souls, we hold space for what's happening, of course, and it's not that we are condoning certain actions and violence, but there is this kind of aggression, like aggression that is protection. And I shared about that in my in this article on my Patreon. It's a free article, by the way. It's called How to Process Collective Grief and Rage as a light worker, healer, also. Because we know that rage and anger are these overwhelming feelings in many ways. But when there is injustice, when there are atrocities, rage is the correct response. Like, you can't feel ashamed to feel rage about some things or feel so angry that you just want to cry. Like, it is okay. It is the correct response when you see something that is very, very bad for people to feel enraged. And there's also grief, like that feeling of sadness and horror too. So in that article, I explain how rage, grief, and horror are these emotions we feel and how they can manifest. So rage happens when, boundaries are violated, right? When something is so toxic to you or to others that you have no choice but to feel this energy that says, stop it right there. That's why rage is important when it's healthy. So when rage is suppressed, it becomes destructive. But when rage is integrated, it becomes a great tool for balance, for justice. And then there is grief. Grief is love meeting loss. Grief is love that keeps persevering. That's a quote from WandaVision, I remember. Grief is love that has nowhere else to go sometimes. We are grieving the fact that we are losing countless of innocent lives to the wars and everything. We're grieving the fact that many children these days grow up in these horrible environments with no opportunities. And if you suppress your grief, it becomes depression. It becomes all these thoughts about, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to disappear. I don't want to exist. But when you integrate grief, it becomes a tool for connection because you can connect with others who are experiencing that pain too. Like, you are not alone in this. We are here for you. We are here for each other. We can share these feelings, these painful feelings, and we can know that this is not the end, right? When we share our feelings, it's like we release that energy. We're able to breathe again, and that's okay. That's necessary. So that's how you process that grief. And then horror is the experience when the world breaks all definitions of decency and you are shocked. You're like in complete shock because of the choices of some people. Like, we are so horrified by the atrocities. And horror is, again, this energy of shock. And some people, when they are in horror, in shock, they try to overanalyze it or intellectualize it and assign some meaning to that experience. And that usually happens, for example, in the religious communities, in the spiritual communities, that you want to interpret all the signs, you want to make predictions about what's going to happen, you want to know all the details, and when is this person going to, or something like that. Like, when is this going to happen? What's happening to the United States or this country or this? Like, I want to know. And you do that, your mind does that because you want to manage your feeling of helplessness and horror and shock. But that desperation actually creates, in some cases, confusion and more delusion. Like, many people are spiraling into psychosis, and that's dangerous, right? So what you do when we experience this horrifying news, like, you need to, again, express those feelings, know that it is valid to feel that way, and slowly and mindfully give them an interpretation that helps you reclaim your agency. For example, like, people are going to interpret this through the social lens, for example, the philosophical lens, the historical lens, the spiritual lens. You see how we human beings create all these interpretations and meaning from experiences. In my case, for example, I try to share with you this spiritual interpretation of reality through the soul design framework, and also do the psychic readings or channeled messages to support your journey. And again, it's not that I am trying to force some kind of meaning to like pander to people, to like soothe you or sugarcoat things. No, that's not what I want to do. Or on the other end of the spectrum, I also don't want to fearmonger and make everyone feel like there is some urgency there that we need to do something, right now, or the world is ending. And yeah, so it's about being mindful and being honest about our feelings. I hope this resonates. It's like a long, very long rant. But yes, that's, I think, our role as healers, light workers, intuitives, to coexist with all these experiences without losing ourselves in them. And that's especially true for catalyst and nurture archetypes. We are the ones who tend to be in tune with other people, the needs of others, the collective consciousness. So it is a learning experience for us too. Thank you so much for your guidance in these confusing times. Oh, thank you, Maite. Thank you so much to you, and for your kindness and receptivity and your love. And of course, I wouldn't be able to do this without you, my friends. It's like, again, the energies we co-create together. So it's almost 3 hours here, and I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Maite. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Explorator from India. Hello to our friends all around the world. From the Netherlands, from the United States out there. Thank you. Thank you, Explorator. Thank you. Yes, I'll see you tomorrow. This time, like, I start my stream at 2 p.m. EST time. And yeah, have a great rest of your day, my friends. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.